those guys already.
We set out to see at least 10 national parks and a bunch of great friends on a 2-month drive across the U.S.
I've known my friend Jim since he decided to become my big brother 45 years ago.
After stopping to see a truly amazing bit of architecture at Falling Water, we went to Cleveland to see Jim and Amy, who we met over 32 years ago when we were all honeymooning in Bermuda.
The next stop was Chicago to see the sights, including an architectural tour on a riverboat and to eat deep dish pizza twice with friends from home, Julie, Joan, and Laura.
We listened to our first podcast while driving through Wisconsin and Minnesota on the way to national parks. Our favorite podcast was The Moth.
Our first national park was Badlands, and it offered great views of layered rock formations, bighorn sheep, and bison.
Mount Rushmore is just down the road and is an engineering marvel which exceeded expectations.
The drive through Wyoming and Montana features mountainous views everywhere, and Montana really does have a big sky.
Glacier was our first big national park. Between an amazing drive on Going to the Sun Road, the vast landscape, and seeing 14 bears in 3 days, it will remain a highlight of our trip.
Yellowstone is less than a day away from Glacier and was Christina's favorite. There is an abundance of wildlife, geysers, and beautiful vistas, including the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone and its enormous waterfall.
Grand Teton National Park is another treasure. The water is so blue, the Teton's magnificent, and we tracked down our first moose and bald eagle.
So we came out at dawn to the Oxtail Bend of the Snake River to find the bald eagle. And we found them. Rocky Mountain National Park was enormous and beautiful, and it educated us on the elk mating ritual known as bugling, which you will see and hear in a bit.
We were hosted by Julie in her beautiful mountain house in Conifer and saw our friends Jim, Susie, and Jill.
The timing was perfect to fly back to Philly for the wedding of our dear friend's daughter Amy and her husband Doug. We were also able to spend a night with Christina's mom. Always a treat.
Bryce Canyon was unique. The weather was perfect and the hoodoos were otherworldly. We were thrilled to be with Emma on her birthday, get to know Marin better, and do some horseback riding.
Vegas is close and provided a perfect place for Marin to head back to reality, Andrew to join us, and for us to enjoy a terrific steak dinner.
Zion National Park features two iconic hikes. Angel's Landing is tough, but worth it for the view. The Narrows, we rented waterproof shoes, socks, and pants.
So the plan was to drive to Yosemite, but when we realized that we would get there pretty early, we audibled to go see JT. While we were with him less than 2 hours, seeing our son and his new home was well worth it.
Located in California's Sierra Nevada mountains, Yosemite is another stunning national park. It is famous for ancient sequoia trees, multiple waterfalls, and the granite cliffs of Half Dome and El Capitan. We were staggered at the sight of the rock climbers on El Capitan, but that's why there's vanilla and chocolate, right?
The Grand Canyon is glorious. The South Rim is quite handicapped accessible, which allowed Christina to get an excellent workout, pushing me around for 5 miles in a wheelchair.
We changed plans again since so many people said, you have to go to Sedona, and we were not disappointed with the vistas or our pink Jeep tour.
New Mexico's landscape features both desert and mountains. Its capital, Santa Fe, founded in 1610, is known for upscale spas, Spanish colonial architecture, and a vibrant art scene. Unfortunately, that's where we had our car accident. Here we are at Taos Pueblo, a Native American village just outside of Taos.
Driving a rented white van for 5,000 miles was not part of the plan, but it worked out just fine.
We enjoyed quick visits to Kansas City and St. Louis before picking up Christina's sister, Stephanie, and her husband, David, and heading to Memphis.
Memphis was fun and fattening, though the location of Martin Luther King's murder at the National Civil Rights Museum was humbling.
We headed to Nashville, where we dressed up for Halloween, enjoyed the honky tonks, and had a wine tasting with Mike and Catherine.
We could not go to Florida without seeing John's daughters, Kara and Bridget, who are practically family. SEC football was fun for many reasons.
Christina and Tracy have been friends since junior high.
Our 3 days in Key West were relaxing and entertaining.
And it was great to see Tara and meet her dog Sadie.
The last week of our trip featured a great dinner with Tom, who Todd met in 1980, and his wife, Annalisa.
Here we are at Mingo Falls in the Great Smoky Mountains. First hike I've done in a while.
We were a bit late for fall foliage and had to pick up our car back at Santa Fe, so we trimmed a few days off the end of our trip.
We stopped to see Todd's brother Walter and his wife Joanne in Alexandria. They cooked a lovely dinner and allowed us to store our gear at their home for a few days.
Is it a rainbow?
Yeah, it looks like rainbow colors.
Yeah, so here we are on our way home. 1,900 miles we have to drive in 2.5 days. And we are in Texas, approaching Amarillo. And we have a pretty cool sky going on. Christina's doing a great job driving. Here we are at the home of John and Renee. They are so kind to, that's John, and that's Renee, so kind to be having a wonderful dinner for us. I can't wait to eat your lasagna because we have eaten out. How many meals, honey?
A lot.
A lot.